Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Motor Mike Media, and as always, I'm your host, Motor Mike. Now, today we'll be talking about the Lincoln Continental, and unfortunately it's going away. Another dead sedan in the US market. But we all know that crossovers, SUVs, and trucks have just been dominating, and they have been for quite some time. The sedan market just keeps shrinking and shrinking. A while ago, Ford told everyone, hey, across our brands, Ford and Lincoln, we're going to get rid of all of our sedans, and it's the Continental's time. Now, when this generation came out for 2017, it was revolutionary. It was showing the new face of Lincoln and the new design language. And you can tell. Just look at the Lincoln Continental grille. It went across all the other cars. The Navigator, the Aviator, trickled down. Obviously they changed the size, but that's the new face of Lincoln. The old face of Lincoln was this weird bar design that kind of looked like a mustache on some models, but now it has this new premium look, very classy, and we all owe the Lincoln Continental to that. Now, most people don't realize the Lincoln Continental is in its 10th generation. It started way back in 1939, and yes, throughout all these years, there's been some gaps here and there, but that's a very long time to have a nameplate, and a lot of people know about it. If you say the name Lincoln Continental, they'll probably think about the 4th Gen. The 4th Gen was a big, long land yacht with the classic suicide doors. It was very iconic. Celebrities had them, people that were well off. The presidential limousine was built off of one of these way back then. And it's sad to see that now, going 10 generations, it's going away again. I don't know if we'll ever get an 11th Gen. So let's talk about the trims. Now, when this came out, there was a standard trim, reserve trim, and black label. And basically you can get front wheel drive or all wheel drive. Now, starting with the standard trims, very well equipped, starting in the 40s. And that came standard with a 3.7 liter V6, naturally aspirated. 305 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Pretty good numbers. Most people opted out to get the reserve or black label trims. It's kind of hard to find a standard one used on the market, but most people got the reserve or the black label. The reserve is the next step up. Now, the reserve came with a 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine, and in this application it made 335 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. Very healthy numbers, and you can get that in front wheel drive or all wheel drive. Now, black label, that's the top dog trim. Now, that's all the features, most of the features, I should say, almost all of the options checked off, the most premium of the premiums, and that came with the 3 liter V6. Twin turbocharged, 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Very, very good numbers, quite impressive for that engine at that time. Now, the Continental has always been a luxury vehicle, never a sport luxury vehicle. A lot of these automakers nowadays, they want both. But it's a vehicle that's super sporty and luxurious. The Continental has always been this cushiony cloud of a vehicle. So even the 10th generation is just like that. You get inside, it's silent. Everything's premium, luxurious, and it just cruises. Your power delivery is nice and smooth with all these power plants. They all use the old 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, looking at the styling, like I said, that front end, very iconic because it's on all the Lincolns nowadays. That front end is very classy and simple. The lights, the jeweled look, it's a very handsome design. Going to the side, simple, yet kind of bold. The sheet metal is nice and clean because the door handle is not where it normally is. Now, if you look, you might say, hey, where is it at? The chrome trim that goes across, and that is your door handle. Now you can see from a different angle that it actually loops out, and it's a nice design language to make it stand out a little bit. Now the rear end, it's a big butt, not gonna lie, but it has a LED signature that goes all the way across. Now Lincoln was actually doing that before most people did. It started with the MKZ, but nowadays that's one of the trends. Big front ends with the big grills and an LED signature that goes all the way across is now the new common. And the Continental was doing it before it was more mainstream. Going into the interior, very premium. Very welcoming to come inside. your soft points where your arms will rest, nice leather, real stitching. Same thing with the steering wheel, premium leather. And if you look at the switched gear in the vehicle, it's almost all Lincoln. Like I said, in 2017, there was a new design language for Lincoln. They wanted to get rid of that reputation of being a gussied up Ford. So they made lots of their own new switchgear. And it looks very impressive. Everything feels tactile. They use their own font. The Lincoln the Lincoln system is basically Sync 3, but they put a nice skin over it to make it different than the regular Fords. And in front of the driver is a whole digital display, customizable to your wants and needs. And you have a head-up display that goes into your windshield. And you can change all the settings on that too. So you're adding all this modern tech. Now the seats, premium leather, but you can get up to 30-way adjustable seats. Now some journalists will say that you can't get comfortable, there's too many adjustments. And other people think that it's very comfortable. You have to get into it and find out for yourself. Overall, it's a great place to be, very luxurious, and it's that old school American luxury. Now if you haven't already, please subscribe. It means so much to me if you would. I have a goal to get to 1,000 or more by this time next year. You guys can be part of it. Let's get back to the Lincoln Continental. So, as I said before, this design language trickled down to everything else. Back in the days, sedans were the flagship for a brand. Not so nowadays. In 2017, they kind of hinted that this was the flagship for Lincoln, but then they've refreshed the all-new generation, or the current generation Navigator, and that became the new flagship. If you go and you build a new Navigator, yes, it's going to be more money than the Continental, but you're getting all that space. And they even upped the premium level when it came to the Navigator. But without that Continental, you would never have all the premium things or the new face you have across the Lincoln board. It was a great stepping stone, and it's sad to see it go. So earlier I talked about how Lincoln and the fourth generation of this vehicle had the suicide doors that were such an iconic look. And for a brief time during this current 10th generation one, they kind of had the same thing. And what I mean by that is they took a very limited number of their fully loaded black label models, sent them to a coach builder. That coach builder would cut them in half, stretch them out, elongate them. Go into the back seats and change it up to make it more premium, more luxurious back there. And they added those classic suicide doors. It was such a cool look. I would love to be driven in one of these and show up somewhere and pop open those suicide doors. But they only made a limited production number of them. They were very expensive, but they sold out right away. And then that was it. Lincoln decided to pull the plug and get rid of the Continental. It's a shame that at the end there, they made it feel so iconic to what it once was. But let me know in the comments below. Do you guys like the Continental or not? What about sedans? Do you miss them as much as I do? I really hope that we have another renaissance of sedans, but probably not the way things are going. So please, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Stay up to date with the latest and greatest, and I'll catch you all in the next one.